What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Shane Rowe. Guys, grab your yardage coffee, hit that like button, thank you, and that subscribe button, there we go, and let's get caffeinated. Guys, in a 0-0 draw at home against Honduras, Jamaica did finish on top of the CONCACAF Nations League Group A or League A Group B table. Say that 10 times fast. Um, yeah, so we finished top of the table and we go into the quarterfinals in sometime in November. But as far as the game goes, let's go over it and we'll talk about what we noticed. I mean, at the end of the day, we did come back with the point that we needed to advance into the latter stages of the competition. But with a couple of those results going other ways, like Cuba versus Trinidad and Nicaragua having a bit of a scare there for a second, the table was topsy turvy. And if we didn't come back with a point, who knows what could have happened, right? So as far as the team goes, guys, there were noticeable difference from the team that played Nicaragua away, and I'm going to say that this is probably the reason why there was such a dramatic shift in the chemistry of how we played versus away against Nicaragua. Because to play how we did away versus how we played at home, total contrast. Now, as far as the defense goes, Blake commanding the goalposts, he needs to be called up for a at least a championship side, but I'm sure he could play in the Prem. He's definitely has the quality to play in the Prem. The back four, we had Lee and Pinnock, and he kind of disturbed it with the Mason Holgate introduction and the Lambakiska on the right hand side. Now, in my opinion, that's where the defense kind of suffered mostly. If you notice some of the attacks from Honduras, a lot of it came down that right hand side. So we had a better solidity in the defense when we had Low teaming up with Pinnock and Gray came coming back into the fold was protecting that right hand side much better. Maybe Nicaragua doesn't have the same potency as Honduras. If I'm not mistaken, Honduras are ranked a lot higher than them. So there is a lot more quality in Honduras. And you saw it, they just didn't have that final third. Because if they did have that touch in the final third, we could have been in problems. But as far as a overall defensive game, we played very well. The midfield, again, affected by the rotation of the squad. And I get we have to rotate the squad, guys. So it's not because I don't think we shouldn't be rotating the squad, but it really affected the team. And it's almost like watching a United game, how many changes we made from one game to another game, right? Anderson came in and Palmer came in. Palmer came in for Anderson. And to be honest, Palmer didn't have the best of games. So there was a little bit of shakiness in that midfield area. And that disconnect between the midfield and the forward line, you saw it again. Total contrast from the game against Nicaragua. And that up front, we switched out Reed for Campbell. And again, we have to rotate the team, but these changes did really affect the side. And in the first half, you saw it. We didn't have a shot on goal until almost the end of the half, and it came from Pinnock on a corner kick from a set piece. So you see what I mean, guys? Number one, Pinnock's always in that box trying to get a goal. So shout out to Pinnock for keeping that defense tight, and shout out to Blake for organizing everybody in that backfield. But we get the set pieces again, and Pinnock is the only one getting our first shot off in 30 something minutes of a game. Meanwhile, Honduras had already scored, had already taken at least 5 or 6 shots. By the end of the first half, they had about 8 shots to our 1. Now, the second half was a total contrast in terms of how we came back out. We came back out with a little bit more gusto, a little bit more fight in us, and we gave them a much more of a gain than we did in the first half. Not to mention the substitutions that he did make. Although it wasn't players that came or started the last game, the substitutions were really good substitutions. Dixon came on, he looked dangerous. He had a left foot shot, I think, that went just a little bit wide of the post. And you had Cephas that came on and made it. Those two guys on, I think they were playing, definitely Dixon was playing wing. Cephas, I'm sure he's probably playing top part attacking wing. They were the ones giving us those little bit of chances in the final third. And we got away with one in Nicaragua, so I think they didn't give us the penalty against Dixon. Because for me, I think it was a penalty. Leave your comments down below, right? But guys, as far as the overall game, Jamaica has quality, but we need to find that rhythm, because when we have certain players in the team looks a lot more potent going forward. When we switch out certain players, we look a little bit null, and the disconnection between the midfield area and that attacking is just not there. When you look at the stats, we had most of the possessions, but as far as crossing, as far as long balls, as far as set pieces, as far as total shots, we were just we I don't want to say we showed up to get the point, but as the game went along, it just looked more and more like they were just there to get the point, which is tournament football. So I'm not saying you can't play smart and there's not going to be games where you have to kind of sacrifice, but and any slip they would have slide, because the table was whew, watching the game. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to catch this game and watching the table at the same time. And between us and the other games, man, if we didn't win that game or at least draw that game, I'm not sure where we'd have ended up at the table. But in the end, we got the point needed, right? The guys go away until November, and I'm not sure who we play. I think I'll keep up with the news feed to let you guys know who we're gonna be playing against in the quarterfinals. The problem that I have is that as far as an attacking sense, guys, we need to figure it out. Our defense looks pretty solid, and our midfield can handle most teams. It's the attacking area. We need to be putting the crosses in the box. Anthony needs to be putting his head on those crosses, and we also need our wingers to make some problems for these defenders, as they were doing on that right hand side for us. But like I said, once Dixon and Cephas came on, they kind of changed the game for us. And in the end, we got what we needed, so we're not going to be too upset about it. But going forward, playing teams like Mexico, USA, and I think Dominican Republic, we're going to need to have that quality as far as the attacking goes. And we're going to need to be able to capitalize on set pieces. We need to drill those. The first time we had a shot on target in the entire game was when Pina came up for a set piece, right? So if this is going to be a source of our attack and a source of our goals, we have to sharpen it up on all fronts, especially when we're not linking that middle to the front of the park, right? So in the end, we got what we needed. We move on. Guys, like the video, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Peace.